Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalaam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatideshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktaranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
So thank you very much for inviting me to your wonderful association. So we have questions. What is the significance of stars?
Yes, Prabhu.
Significance of the stars. Because in the Bhagavad Gita, the moon is described as one of the stars, you know. You want to read that?
Yes, Prabhu. When the moon is waxing, the illuminating portions of it increase daily, thus creating day for the demigods and night for the pitas. When the moon is waning, however, it causes night for the demigods and day for the pitas. In this way, the moon passes through each constellation of stars in 30 muhurtas, an entire day. The moon is a source of nectarian coolness that influences the growth of food grains, and therefore the moon god is considered the life of all living entities. He is consequently called Jiva, the chief living being within the universe.
So see how the moon affects the earthly planet. Yes?
Who are the pitas, Prabhu?
Pitas are those from Pitraloka.
Okay. Because the moon is full of all potentialities, it represents the influence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The moon is the predominating deity of everyone's mind, and therefore the moon god is called Manomaya. He is also called Annamaya because he gives potency to all herbs and plants, and he is called Amritamaya because he is a source of life for all living entities. The moon pleases the demigods, pitas, human beings, animals, birds, reptiles, trees, plants, and all other living entities. Everyone is satisfied by the presence of the moon. Therefore, the moon is also called Sarvamaya, all-pervading.
See all these parts the moon plays, no? Controlling the mind. So guys were crazy in full moon day. Those who are mentally disturbed, right? They become very much disturbed on full moon days. Correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
And in a planet in your chart, if the moon is weak, that means the person is very fickle-minded. You know? You understand? And a person has got a very strong moon, then his mind is very fixed up, you know, to think about God and Krishna. Right? You understand? So a person who's got a weak mind, there's tendency for suicidal also. And planting, usually the farmers, they will plant their vegetables on the after Amavasa, you know. After the dark moon, they will start the planting will start after the next day, you know. Because it will be the growing moon, no.
Waxing moon.
So yeah, all the farmers, they know the signs, no. You understand? And also the tide of the earth, you know, when the full moon, then the tide is high tide. When it's dark moon, the tide is low. You follow? So the control is there. How is it all working like this? Yes. Then next one.
There are many stars located 300,000 yojanas, 2.4 million miles above the moon. By the supreme will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they are fixed to the wheel of time, and thus they rotate with Mount Sumeru on their right, their motion being different from that of the sun. There are 28 important stars headed by Abhijit.
So this is called the nakshatra, you know.
Mhm.
Nakshatra means stars, no?
Mm.
So those who know astrology, they know this.
Yeah, Ashwini, Bharani,
Yeah,
Swati,
all those stars.
Bharata.
Some 1.6 million miles above this group of stars is the planet Venus, which moves at almost exactly the same pace as the Sun according to swift, slow, and moderate movements. Sometimes Venus moves behind the Sun, and sometimes in front of the Sun, and sometimes along with it. Venus nullifies the influence of planets that are obstacles to rainfall. Consequently, its presence causes rainfall, and it is therefore considered very favorable for all living beings within this universe. This has been accepted by learned scholars.
So this planet is called Sukra, you know. You know, and the Sanskrit word for Venus.
Usana,
Usana. Usually they call it in the Sanskrit, in the Vedic thing, they call it Sukra.
Shukra.
And then you have Mercury, I know what they
Mercury,
call it. Buddha, that same
Buddha.
word. Buddha Graha. So you can read that.
Mercury is described to be similar to Venus in that it moves sometimes behind the Sun, sometimes in front of the Sun, and sometimes along with it. It is 1.6 million miles above Venus, or 7.2 million miles above Earth. Mercury, which is the son of the Moon, is almost always very auspicious for the inhabitants of the universe. But when it does not move along with the sun, it forebodes cyclones, dust, irregular rainfall, and waterless clouds. In this way, it creates fearful conditions due to inadequate or excessive rainfall.
So this is the Mercury, but it also is in charge of intelligence and so
Hmm.
many things.
Situated 1.6 million miles above Mercury or 8.8 million miles above Earth is the planet Mars. If this planet does not travel in a crooked way, it crosses through each sign of the zodiac in 3 fortnights, and in this way travels through all 12 one after another. It almost always creates unfavorable conditions in respect to rainfall and other influences.
So Mars is not a very favorable planet.
Situated 1.6 million miles above Mars or 10.4 million miles above Earth is the planet Jupiter, which travels through one sign of the zodiac within the period of a Parivatsara. If its movement is not curved, the planet Jupiter is very favorable to the Brahmanas of the universe.
So it moves one house. It takes 1 year to move one house. And
Which
this
means
planet
Jupiter?
called Guru,
Okay.
So it is a very favorable planet for spiritual people. This is very auspicious.
And Mars means Kuja, Prabhu?
Mars is Kuja, yeah.
Okay.
Situated 1.6 million miles above Jupiter or 12 million miles above Earth is the planet Saturn, which passes through one sign of the zodiac in 30 months and covers the entire zodiac circle in 30 Anuvatsaras. This planet is always very inauspicious for the universal situation.
So sunny, huh?
Shani.
It takes 2.5 years
In
to
one
go from
house.
one house to another house. And it's always creating a lot of trouble.
Situated 8.8 million miles above Saturn or 20.8 million miles above Earth are the 7 saintly sages who are always thinking of the well-being of the inhabitants of the universe. They circumambulate the supreme abode of Lord Vishnu, known as Dhruvaloka, the pole star.
Lord Vishnu, who is the source of knowledge and transcendental bliss, has assumed the form of Shishumara in the seventh heaven, which is situated in the topmost level of the universe. All the other planets, beginning with the Sun, exist under the shelter of the Shishumara planetary system.
So all these planets and these stars are in the material universe, Prabhu?
Yeah. Millions of stars, You understand? So they all affect they run, they all are controlling the whole earth, management, no?
These are beyond the 14 planetary system or within this 14 planets? I mean, how does
14 planets, no, they are different, The 14 planetary system is different. These are stars,
So like
Understand?
do they come above the planets or
Yeah, you
it
can
is
see
in
them.
between?
You can see them, correct?
Uh,
There's a different, now we read, no, the different levels, no? Some are so many miles away, so many miles away, like that. It's given, no? Correct. There's some even further, too many of them to, identify. That's now we read, no? It says there are so many stars. You see here, verse we read.
Not only.
How is it?
Next one.
Up or down?
Down.
Okay, here, you see. So many of them are located above the moon. And they all rotate with the Mount Meru on their right, their motion being different from the sun. There are 28 important stars headed by Abhijit. That's now we read, no?
But in astrology, there is only 26 stars, right, Prabhu?
I don't know. Maybe it says here 28, no?
Important. Oh, okay, like that.
28 important. They are rotating around, no? But there are millions of stars, no? There are millions and millions of the stars. Among them, there's 28 prominent.
Like this pole star is relevant for Dhruva planet, right? So like that, is there some relevance for each star, Prabhu?
Yeah. For example, you just read Abhijit, whenever the Abhijit star comes in the afternoon, a very auspicious time, whoever, whatever you want to do at that time, you will be successful. You understand? So like that, there are 28 stars. I mean, whichever time that stars, Rohini, for example, Rohini star is auspicious also. But you get some kind of a Durga kind of an influence star, they're not so good. So the names are all there. No, this astrology you studied, you will know this, no? Correct? So I'm not very familiar with that science, It's not my department.
Yeah. Did Prabhupada give any instructions on what we have to follow regarding stars or nothing like that, Prabhu?
At one time, yeah, he kind of says that in a rainy day, if you know it's going to rain, then you'll carry the umbrella, no? But then what happened is devotees started kind of getting too much into the astrology and forgetting Krishna. So then he kind of forbade it, no? But he himself never not practiced. He's, for example, when in the last stage of his time, he asked how the astrologer reading, So he wanted to know where the position of the stars are. So they say that Satan is in the 8th house, not so good, no? So like that. So he was using it for his, so then he wanted to know how he can progress with his time. Time is not good, so simply chant, he said, no? You understand? So you must learn how to use it properly. You simply go like what the West, some people do, according to my chart, this person I married is not so good for me, so I think this kind of thing is misuse, no? Understand? So we should always understand how to apply them positively in Krishna consciousness. Yes, then, for example, every day there is something called Rahu kalam, If you go and do anything auspicious at that time, is not good, no?
So did Prabhupada also talk about Rahu kalam, Prabhu? Should we follow it?
Yes, he said on Thursday night, Thursday afternoon, they will not travel. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was the expert astrologer. So if he had to travel on Thursday, he will put his shoes outside on Wednesday, no? Saying that he started the journey already, So astrology is Jyotish Shastra, no? It's given by Krishna. You have to learn how to use it properly, that's all. You understand? Suppose you want to buy something, would you do that in the wrong time?
Like, is it okay to go for book distribution or prasadam distribution?
Prasadam book distribution, that we don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
That, is that you can see this verse. Anything you do spiritually is a different thing altogether, This is that is different level,
There may be discrepancies in pronouncing the mantras and observing the regulatory principles, and moreover, there may be discrepancies in regards to time, place, person, and paraphernalia. But when your lordship's holy name is chanted, everything becomes faultless.
Yeah, you understand? Preaching is different, no? You follow?
Yes.
So you have to be practical, not just simply become stereotype, You understand? So we should be knowing Of course, we cannot be stupid also, no? No, I will just chant and everything will be okay.
Mm.
If you can avoid, why you want to do it? Yes, understand? Yeah. So you have to learn how to use it properly, that's all. Correct? I think being Indian, I think you should know better, right?
Mm.
Correct?
Yes, true.
Yes, Prabhu.
For those who don't know, they get overwhelmed. But coming from the kind of background, you know how it's applied, no? For example, they want to get married, they always go and check that, no? Is it?
Mm.
Right or not?
Yes, true.
Is it not?
Yes, true.
So like that, the applications are there. So you just have to learn how to intelligently apply them.
Mhm.
It's a science given by the Lord. Who wrote this one? Rahu Kalam.
Same thing, Prabhu. I just put it so that it gets recorded.
So okay, I have explained that.
Yes, Prabhu.
So we just have to know how to use it. That's all. It's given by Krishna,
Mm.
right?
Yes.
It's not a speculation. The planets are all there, running their courses.
So they say your destiny is kind of governed by the position of the stars when you took birth. So is
Yes.
there any
It,
explanation or why that happens like that?
because of your previous karma, no?
Uh-huh.
What you have done, then your next birth is according to that, no? Correct?
Mm.
So according to your karma, you are put into a certain body, a certain family, certain everything. So your desires can go on, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So the planets are then involved, the three modes of material nature. Yes?
Mm.
Just like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born or Krishna was born, it's explained there, was all the planets aligned in such a favorable position.
Mm-hmm.
Is it not? There's a verse?
Mm.
Correct. So everything is aligned favorably for a devotee. Everything is aligned like when Hiranyakashipu was taking birth, as it says that all the stars were in a very wrong direction.
And there
Yes
was
or
also
no?
plus formation, rain.
Yeah, all the wrong timing, Yes. So why they don't influence? I'm sure you all are taking birth at a very nice time where everything was very
No,
auspicious.
very, very inauspicious. That's
Yes.
struggling hard.
Hmm. Correct.
That's true.
Like Prabhupada, he was born, predicted that he will cross the ocean and build 108 temples, correct?
And save all of us.
So like that, different people born with different, but those who are not very auspicious, then they born with so many problems, no? Correct? But all this can be changed when we start taking to Krishna consciousness. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So karma can change if you surrender to Krishna. You follow?
Mm-hmm.
So that is how we have to perform our chanting. The chanting, immediately Prabhupada said, by surrendering to Krishna, you can kick with a flick of his toe, Krishna can kick millions of Rahus away,
Mm-hmm.
There in the nectar of devotion, Prabhupada spoke that full line. So therefore, our only hope is to take shelter of Guru and Krishna to change all our karma,
Mm.
At least we won't incur more karma. That much we can do, right? So this is how, stars are influencing everything. So that's why chanting is very important. Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
I'm sure you will also agree your life has changed significantly when you came to Krishna consciousness, is it not?
Yes, yes, Prabhu,
Yes,
very
Prabhu.
much.
Mm.
It was completely hellish life, and as soon as we started chanting, it is blissful life.
Yes, devotees, everything is taken care of for Krishna, no? By Krishna. Krishna makes everything auspicious for the devotees, right?
Yes, Prabhu. Madhu Prabhu,
Any
you
other
wanted to
question?
ask
Huh?
something? Madhu Prabhu wanted to ask something.
What do you want to ask?
So, question is, I was reading the Narasimhadev first time. So, my understanding is when the Lord has come in that avatara of black man, based on the conditions of Hiranyakashipu, because he didn't want to die on the earth, water, daytime, nighttime. And Prahlad Maharaj asked, the Lord is in this, what is that?
Pillar.
Pillar, thank you. In the pillar, Lord showed up. I thought on the spot, Lord has taken that avatara, but I also read that avatara is eternally already exist.
So at that particular time, there was no other avatar like that. You understand? Because his pastimes are eternally going on. You follow?
So the avatar was not there until then, Prabhu?
Until then, nobody knew. So you see like this, when Brahma, he took the cows away, correct? From coward boys, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
But Brahma is seeing the Lord every day in his life. Huh?
Correct.
So Krishna is coming every day in his life. So how is it that he forgot? Huh? You understand? Did you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, yes. Prabhu.
Every day he's seeing Krishna and every day he's stealing the cow boys and all that, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes or not? Brahma get into illusion. It's called Brahma Vimohana Leela, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Every day he is put into illusion. How is it that he doesn't know? Huh? Krishna is God. Correct?
Correct.
So the same way, Krishna covers the living entity by his Yogamaya. Just like Yasoda, she saw all the planet in his mouth, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
So Krishna then covered intelligence so that the pastime can go on. You follow?
Yes, Prabhu.
Same way, when the Narasimhadev avatar is coming every time, but at that particular time he puts everybody into Yogamaya covering, no?
That means they forget it after that
Yeah,
thing,
therefore
pastime.
they can't remember this pastime until he appears again and revive their consciousness again. You understand? Krishna has got two energies, no? Mahamaya and Yogamaya, no? Correct?
Yes.
If everybody knows already, then how are you going to perform his pastime? Huh?
Yes.
You follow?
Yes,
So to get his pastime going, he has to cover the living entities, what do you call that? Consciousness? Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
Then they will know. Oh, very wonderful pastimes. Lakshmi herself was very frightened to go near. She never saw the Lord like that. How is it that she never saw? Correct?
Oh,
yeah.
Does Lakshmi also come under the influence of Yogamaya?
There is written in the verse, no? She never saw the Lord in this form, no? Correct?
Yes.
You can go refer, huh?
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
So the Lord is very expert in covering the living entity. Either he covers by Mahamaya or he covers by Yoga Maya. You follow?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, yes.
So in order for his pastime to be enacted, he has to cover the living entity's consciousness. Huh?
So every pastime it just repeats, Prabhu? Like
Yes, it says repeated all. Nitya Lila, that's the word used for his pastime. It's called Nitya Lila, eternally going on. You follow?
yes, Prabhu.
Same pastime is going on somewhere else in some other universe. Like now here, Prabhupada give the analogy that now the sun is, in Singapore it is 9 o'clock, correct? But the sun is not in your place, correct?
Right.
But 9 o'clock will be coming to your place also, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
In a little while, 9 o'clock will leave Singapore and will go to another country, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
9 o'clock is eternal, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
You understand?
Yes, yes.
The same way. So the pastimes of the Lord are going from one universe to another universe to another universe.
Yes, Prabhu. So the Nitya Lila is just to revive the conditioned soul, Krishna consciousness. So Lord do these pastimes, Prabhu, just for the conditioned souls?
Yeah, because the pastimes are to, two purpose, no? To live, to save the devotees and to kill the demons, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
And to revive religious principles, correct?
Yes,
So
Prabhu.
the pastimes are going on like that for that purpose, Bhagavad Gita, no?
Paritranam Vinasha.
Yes. For what?
30.
7, 8, I think.
7, 8.
2 verses. Whenever and wherever there decline religious practice, I descend. Descendant of Bharata, and predominant rise of religion. At that time, I descend myself. So here, and when he descends, what he does, you see here, to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreant, as well as to re-establish the religious principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. Yes?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
So when he comes, the devotees are overjoyed and the demons are not happy. And then, like he came, he killed the demons, and then he delivered the devotees. And he also re-established this Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and all that. Correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes or not?
Yes, Prabhu.
You understand?
Yeah, I got it, Prabhu.
So therefore, the Lord has got a purpose of coming. And he comes all the time. It's not that he doesn't come. He just came 5,000 years ago and he came again 500 years ago, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
And his representative case came 50 years ago. Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
So the Lord is in control, no? He's always sending his representative or he comes personally to educate the conditioned souls.
Yes.
Yes? And
Yes.
you also cannot figure out why at this lifetime you have become a devotee, correct? Who makes this arrangement? Huh? Why not previous life? You don't know, correct?
I don't know, Prabhu.
Yeah. So all this arrangement is what? By who? Huh?
Lord, Prabhu.
Yes. So according to our piety, we are taking birth accordingly. We could have taken 50 years ago and be with Prabhupada, correct? Yeah? Or we could have been 500 years ago and be with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, correct? Yeah?
Correct.
Or we could have been 5,000 years ago and be with Krishna, yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
Correct.
Correct.
So, according to our piety, we are taking birth accordingly. And it is controlled by the Lord. Yes?
So yes, Prabhu. So Lord knows when every conditioned soul become a devotee, Prabhu.
Yeah, it is said in the Bhagavad Gita, as a super soul, I am a what? Sakshi and Anumanta. I am witnessing and I am permitting. Correct?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
The Lord is sitting in our heart and is observing and at the same time is permitting. Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
Which soul will go where, which soul will qualify, and it's all controlled. Karmana deviga netrena is by the higher arrangement. Yes?
Yes,
Everything is strictly controlled. There's no such thing as, independence, According to the karma of the living entity, it is all going on. Yes?
yes.
But the thing is, everything is no control. That's now we read, no? The planets are also controlling under his thing.
Yes.
Yes or not?
Yes.
Huh? Nobody is independent. Only a fool. Correct? Only a fool will think there's no controller, no? Yes?
Yes.
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Karmana Deviga Netrena Jantur Deho Papatye Striya Pravista Udaram Pumsoreta Kanashrayaha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, under the supervision of the Supreme Lord and according to the result of his work, the living entity, the soul, is made to enter into the womb of woman through the particle of male semen to assume a particular type of body. Huh? Correct?
Yes. Correct.
Hello?
Correct.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
So there's no such thing as, everything is working without any what?
Supervision of the Lord.
What is that? And does it affect one's Krishna consciousness? I guess I answered that, no? Does nourishing avatar always exist? Okay, I have explained that also. 929. Krishna say is not partial to anyone. Does this term anyone who includes these devotees or those who are trying to approach him? So Krishna is not partial to anybody. He is like a father for everybody. For those who are devoted to him, he shows special attention. And those who are trying to be a little too smart, then he is giving his spanking. But both are his mercy only. Prabhupada explained that the government is maintaining the welfare department, and at the same time he also maintaining the jail, the criminal department. So does it mean that because the government is having criminal department, it is bad? No, it is to reform the citizen. Yes? Hello?
Yes, Prabhu.
At the same time, those who are surrendered, then the government is giving extra benefit to those people. Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
The North is not partial to anybody. So the person is getting into trouble because of his karma. Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
Says here, Bhagavad Gita. in this verse, nor does the Supreme Lord assume anyone's sinful or pious activities. Embodied beings, however, are bewildered because of the ignorance which covers their real knowledge. So according to their karma, they get the thing, correct? The Lord is not to be blamed.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, if you go and do some nonsense and get the reaction, is the Lord to be blamed? Like now, if I go and kill someone, then I am going to be hanged, correct? Yes or not?
Yes, Prabhu.
At the same time, I go and do some heroic work and I get some credit for that, correct? It's my actions, no?
Yes, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, if a devotee and a non-devotee are being, if karma is dictating their results and action, and non-devotee is not going through the process of devotional service, and devotee is going through the process of devotional service, but still he's facing the same consequence and situations in life based on karma. How does Lord's intervention play a part then? Because in
And
one
see
side,
here, everyone is forced to act helplessly according to the qualities acquired from the modes of material nature. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment. So a person who is not a devotee, he is caught in the three modes of material nature.
yes,
Suppose he is in the goodness, then he goes up. Suppose he is in the mode of passion, he stays here and become associated with the demons and he become a demon. And for those people who are in the ignorance, they go down to animal species or become ghosts according to the modes they acquire. Yes. So devotee platform is different. The moment he becomes a devotee, then he is under the control of the Lord. You understand? That's why Krishna says here that even if he is sinful, if he becomes a devotee, then he is in different condition already. Even one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, you see this word? If he is engaged in devotional service, this is his, you see, position. He is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in determination. In other words, if he comes to devotional service, then he is on a different platform altogether, even though he is very sinful. Now, what happens to him is explained here, the next verse. It says here, Chipram Bhavanti Dharmatma Sasvat Santi Nigachate Kauntaya Pratijanahe Name Bhakta Parnashite. So this is what happens. He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. For son of Kunti declared boldly that my devotee never perish. One thing, he becomes righteous, he becomes peaceful, and he'll never perish.
But Prabhu, in this example, in this very verse, he says, "My devotee never perishes." So, isn't there a sense of favor toward the devotee?
Yes, it's a favor to the devotee. That's why in all circumstances become my devotee, Krishna said to Arjuna.
So he is partial to his devotee? I mean, is that the right
understanding? It's not partial. How can he be partial? If you surrender to him, yes, he takes care of you. If you don't want to surrender to him, then what to do? Like now, if you go in America, the American government is equal to all. But you go and commit a crime, then who's responsible for that?
Correct, Prabhu. Okay.
Huh? The government? No. You broke the law, correct?
Correct.
Same way, if you become a good citizen, then you're rewarded by the government, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
It's the same way with the Lord. If you surrender and you do what he says, then you are rewarded, correct? For my devotee, I carry what he lacks and preserve what he has. For those who are not devotees, then I make their life miserable.
Yes, Prabhu.
You understand? So this question was also raised, and this you can read this. You can. So the same question was raised here. You want to read?
Yes, Prabhu. King Parikshit inquired, "My dear Brahmana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, being everyone's well-wisher, is equal and extremely dear to everyone. How, then, did he become partial like a common man for the sake of Indra and thus kill Indra's enemies? How can a person equal to everyone be partial to some and inimical towards others?"
So this is the same question, correct?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
So the Lord is not partial. You can read the whole, this is the whole verses, you know. Lord Vishnu himself, the Supreme Personality of God, is the reservoir of all pleasure. Therefore, what benefit would he derive from siding with the demigod? What interest would he be fulfilled in this way? Since the Lord is transcendental, why should he fear the asuras? How could he be envious of them? So there's a question. Huh?
Yes, Prabhu.
So again, for greatly fortunate and learned Brahmana, whether Narayana is partial or impartial, he has become a subject of great doubt. Kindly dispel my doubt with positive evidence that Narayana is always neutral and equal to everyone. You follow?
Yes, Prabhu.
Question. So the Lord, Sukadev is replying. The great says, Sukadev, anyone want to read this?
The great says Sukadev Goswami said, "My dear king, you have put before me an excellent question. Discourses concerning the activities of the Lord, in which the glories of his devotees are also found, are extremely pleasing to devotees. Such wonderful topics always counteract the miseries of the materialistic way of life. Therefore, great sages like Narada always speak upon Srimad Bhagavatam because it gives one the facility to hear and chant about the wonderful activities of the Lord. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto Srila Vyasadeva and then begin describing topics concerning the activities of Lord Hari." The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, is always transcendental to material qualities and therefore he is called Nirguna, or without qualities. Because he is unborn, he does not have a material body to be subjected to attachment and hatred. Although the Lord is always above material existence, through spiritual potency, he appeared and acted like an ordinary human being, accepting duties and obligations, apparently like a conditioned soul. My dear King Parikshit, the material qualities, Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna, and Tamo Guna, all belong to the material world and do not even touch the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These three gunas cannot act by increasing or decreasing simultaneously.
So these three gunas, they are controlling everything of the conditioned material world. Understand?
Yes.
So the soul is either in Sattva Gun, Rajagun, or Tamagun. But devotees are transcendental to these gunas. That's a different thing.
Yes, Prabhu, then one question with regards to just what you just said. So when you're chanting, Prabhu, even though there are many thoughts that are running through our head and there are worries, and so chanting activity is transcendental, right? But the thoughts that we get at that point
you're
of
getting
time,
purified. You understand?
Okay.
When you take medicine, you don't expect to immediately be free from the disease, no? Correct?
Okay, Prabhu.
That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said there's a cleaning of the mind, cleaning the mirror, Seto Darpana Marjanam, you understand?
Yes,
so you are now in the process of taking the medicine to get purified, no?
Yes, Prabhu.
Correct. So there will be some, what do you call, some traces of all this Maya, Yes?
Yes, Prabhu. Understood, Prabhu.
Read on.
When the quality of goodness is prominent, the sages and demigods flourish with the help of that quality, with which they are infused and surcharged by the Supreme Lord. Similarly, when the mode of passion is prominent, the demons flourish. And when ignorance is prominent, the yakshas and rakshasas flourish. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is present in everyone's heart, fostering the reactions of Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna.
So accordingly, you understand,
Yes,
it's your choice. If you want to go and do nonsense, then in ignorance, then the Lord also will with the mode of ignorance conduct the activity, correct?
Understood. Yes.
So like that. So everything is according to the modes in which you enter, you know.
But Prabhu, it is said in that verse that Lord fosters the reaction of those three modes. But you also said that we are entering the mode. So sometimes, even though the jiva does not want to enter the mode, he does enter the mode helplessly.
No, the jiva, as soon as he comes to the material world, is covered by the modes of material nature already, no? Right. Then he identifies with the body, yeah? Not tamagun, actually, if it's, for example, in the mode of goodness, it is also in the mode one, correct?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
So, yeah, either mode goodness, passion, or ignorance is covered by something, correct? Yes, and it is explained in the Bhagavad Gita 14:10 that the modes are also fighting, you know, each one want to have dominance, you know.
Yes, Prabhu.
You understand? So just like now you want to be in the mode of goodness, as you just said, but your mind is running and running and want to bring you to the mode of passion and ignorance, correct?
Right, Prabhu.
Yeah. So this is how the mind is not purified, but is in the mode. So it's acting accordingly.
Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, if I may ask you one more thing, Prabhu, to make it more clear for me. You said that it's your choice, that what you do depends on the punishment or the reaction depends on that. But that verse also said that Lord fosters the reaction of the modes you're entering into, tamoguna, rajoguna, and sattoguna. But sometimes the jiva is not, he's entering a tamoguna mode, like you just said, that mind is running here and there. But in that case, I don't want to enter tamoguna, but would Lord in my heart foster the reaction for me to enter tamoguna?
Because of the modes of material nature, just like Arjuna asked the same question. What is it that I don't want to sin, but I'm forced to sin, you know? Why? You understand this point?
Yes, sir.
Anyway, let me finish this one, no? Then I'll go and show you that one. So you see, according to the modes, you know, it says either you become demon, demigod, whatever, no? Correct? So you understand this already, right? The modes of material nature is moving the conditioned soul to act accordingly. So all this is working. Go very quickly. Okay. So you can read that if you got time. Yes. So all this is working under time, and time is under the control of the Lord, you know. Okay, this time factor enhances the Sattva-gun, although the Supreme Lord, the controller, he favors the demigod who mostly situated in Sattva-gun. Then the demons were influenced by Tamaguna and annihilated. The Supreme Lord induced the time factor to act in different ways, but is never partial. Rather, his activities are glorious. Therefore, he is called Urushrava. So by time, his influence, for example, you are told to wake up in the morning and do Mangalarti, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
That's the mode of goodness, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
So if you don't want to wake up, then as the sun comes up, then the mode of passion comes already, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
You understand? And then the time moves on, and then in the evening it's all ignorance, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
So according to the whole thing is controlled by time, yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
So this is explained here, okay? So then here the next question you're asking. I think 334 maybe. Okay, here. So, O descendant of Vrishni, Arjuna is asking, by what is one impelled to sinful act, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
So the Lord explains this thing. The Lord says, why? Because if you go into the mode of passion, then accordingly you have to get into it, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
It's your choice, correct? Yeah.
But Prabhu, when I enter the choice of mode of passion, like you said, time is a factor. I may not be choosing then. I may be really helpless.
That's the position of the conditioned soul. As long as it's trapped in Maya, this now I showed you the verse, no?
Yes, Prabhu.
He's helpless, understand? He's stuck inside.
But then it is not my choice, no, Prabhu, because I'm helpless. I'm not choosing anything.
You're not choosing by your mind because of the senses, they act.
Okay.
Correct? Okay. Everyone is forced to act helplessly according to the qualities as acquired from the modes of material nature. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment.
Okay, Prabhu.
You understand? And the chief cause of all this is the mind, because the mind is the control of the senses. Correct?
Okay, Prabhu.
You understand?
Prabhu?
Explain here better.
So is this understanding correct, Prabhu? If I've got uncontrolled senses, that is also my choice because I didn't control it.
Yes.
That also becomes a choice.
Yes, you are sitting there, you have to learn how to control, but you cannot control without the help of the Lord.
Okay,
that's why surrender is coming. You don't surrender, then it's not possible. That's why Krishna says, unless you surrender to me, you cannot overcome my Maya.
Okay, Prabhu.
Understand?
Understand.
So the instrument to control is the mind. And the mind is, Krishna says, you have to engage in thinking of me. If you don't want to think of me, you think of the sense gratification, then you will be entangled.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
You follow?
Now I understand. Now I follow.
You understand? No.
Yes,
correct?
Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Understood.
Your choice. That's why the mind can be your friend or can be your worst enemy, no?
Yes, Prabhu. Now makes sense. Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. So that's why the whole process is to surrender the mind to Krishna. Correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. One must deliver himself with the help of his mind, not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. Huh?
Yes, Prabhu.
Correct?
Yes, Prabhu. Now I understand, Prabhu. I can connect now.
For man, mind is the cause of bondage and the mind is cause of liberation. Mind absorbed in sense object is the cause of bondage, and the mind detached from sense object is the cause of liberation. So which way you want to go? Your choice.
Yes,
you're given free will, no? Correct?
Yes.
Understand?
Yes, Prabhu. Now I understand, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Other questions, Damo? Lord's glance electrify material nature, innumerable universes are created. When we say they emanate from his bodily pores, when are they created? Via his exhalation? No, when he exhale, then all the universe come out from his pores. I'm sure you have seen the pictures, no? And when he inhales, the same universe also go back into his body. And they are 1 second only of his time.
Yes, Prabhu. In one verse it says that it is coming out from its pores, and the other verse says it is coming out through exhalation. So I was just
through his pores.
Pores.
Through his pores, mostly they are coming out. Of course, some may come out from his mouth also. Some from nostrils, they come out anyway. Correct?
Okay,
breathing, it says by his breathing. Swas system, Swas system means is breathing, no? Even the pores also in our body also, there's air is coming out, correct? Sweat, right?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
So, what is the next one? It was explained that going back to Godhead is not a physical transfer, but a change of consciousness. What then is the signal of Krishna's abode of physical places mentioned in Brahma Samhita? There's nothing physical already. The moment you come to the spiritual thing, only in spiritual aspect you can transfer to a spiritual place. So as you go to the spiritual world, your body gets transformed to the spiritual plane, You understand?
Yes, Prabhu. But Prabhu, it was explained that it is you can be in any part of the material world, you still in Vrindavan because your consciousness is there. So getting purified need not mean that you are basically...
That means you're becoming spiritual, You understand? Like now you are chanting, you are learning, your consciousness is transforming to the spiritual level, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
So if you are stuck in the modes of material nature, then your consciousness is materially involved, entangled, yes, correct? So now by taking the spiritual program, you are liberating, you are coming to the original position as a soul. You understand? Spiritually. You follow?
Yes, Prabhu.
So then once you are in a spiritual person, then you, like for example, Durva Maharaj, he went over death in his same body, you know, because you're already spiritual.
Yes, Prabhu.
You follow?
Yes, Prabhu. But Prabhu, when the soul leaves the body and goes back to Godhead, so going back to Godhead, is it a transfer? Or is it like when it says goes back, it is basically changing consciousness of the soul?
No. You go, you see, the consciousness is different. The symptom of the soul present in the body is consciousness.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
So the moment you spiritualize yourself in your original position, then as you become a spiritual person, your body becomes spiritualized. You understand? You get spiritual mind, spiritual intelligence, everything spiritual. Now you cannot see your spiritual thing because you are covered by your body. Huh?
Yes, Prabhu.
Understand?
Yes, Prabhu.
So that's why it says the moment you become Krishna conscious, then it says Yasya Hare Dasya Manasa Gira. You are considered a Jivan Mukta Sayuchyate. You are already a liberated person.
Yes, Prabhu.
You understand?
Yes, Prabhu. So what does going back to Godhead mean, Prabhu?
Going back to Godhead means, like now, you have to come to your liberated position as a spirit soul. You are liberated means you come out of Maya, you know.
Yes,
understand? Prabhu. And going back to Godhead means you're going back to the original place where you come from.
So it's basically a transfer, right? It's a movement of soul from one material world to the spiritual world.
Yes. Yes. That's a spiritual world. That's a spiritual world.
But how to reconcile that it is going back to Godhead is change your consciousness to your original consciousness of Krishna consciousness. It is not a physical transfer, unlike a transfer.
Yes, the moment you are spiritualized, then you go back to the spiritual world. Why you want to stay in the material world? Now I ask you a question. You know that you are actually a spiritual person. Would you want to stay here?
No, bro.
Yeah. So common sense, no? Correct? Yeah.
Yes, bro.
So the moment you know you don't belong here, then you want to go to your original place. Correct?
Yes, bro.
Yes or not?
Yes, bro.
Why you want to stay here? That's not your original place. You belong to the spiritual world. So you are happy to go back, no? Now you know this is not my place, because unless you get into a lot of kind of punishment, how you will learn?
Yes, bro.
Correct?
Yes, bro.
Before you don't want to learn, you want to enjoy the material world, so Krishna puts you into a lot of difficulties, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Then you realize, no, I don't want to be here, no, get out of this mess, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
So unless, you see, material world is relative, no? Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
Spiritual world is eternal, different.
Prabhu, then that statement where pure devotees never leave Krishna's abode, even though they are here materially, they're always there. How to understand that statement, Prabhu?
Because they are always with Krishna. They're seeing Krishna everywhere.
So that is their consciousness, Prabhu. They're Krishna conscious 100%.
Not only conscious, they're also acting in that level as a spiritual person. They don't want to go and do all the crazy things that the non-devotee does, no?
Okay.
Yes. Okay. In mind, body, words, he's serving the Lord.
Okay, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu. Yes. Understand? Yes, so now you know what? You understand that, wow, I have to become devotee. The moment my consciousness goes somewhere else, then I know I'm going to get into trouble, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
So that you know. But for a pure devotee, they always be with the Lord. That means there's no way Maya attacks them, no?
Yes, Prabhu.
Even they go to hell or they go to heaven because they are with the Lord, then there's no Maya for them.
Yes, Prabhu.
You follow?
Yes, Prabhu.
There's a difference, you know. Correct?
Prabhu, I don't fully follow, but I think I'm going to read more about this and ask you a different question next time. Because
no problem. You can always ask. Because you see, the point is that you're not reading. That's the problem. If you read, then the questions are all there, you know. The understanding become more easier.
Yes,
you follow? like it says here, this was the person acting in Krishna consciousness, or in other words, in the service of Krishna with his body, mind, intelligent word, is a liberated person, even within this material world, although he may be engaged in many so-called material activities. You see that?
Yes, Prabhu.
So the moment you become Krishna conscious, yes, it may seem like you're eating, walking, this thing, that thing, but there's a gulf of difference. One is acting totally for the benefit of Krishna. Another one is acting totally for the benefit of his senses.
Yes, Prabhu. But Prabhu, my question was that if he's physically here, the abode of Goloka, how is he also there? I mean,
the Lord said, no, you see that the Lord is in your heart, no? Correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Is it not? So the Lord in your heart, what, he just stay and hanging around or something? Is the whole world, spiritual world is also there with him. Yes?
Oh, okay. Okay, Prabhu. Okay, yeah, okay, understand. Okay.
You think the Lord is just crazily just hanging inside your heart, is it? He is always with his devotees, correct?
Yes, Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu. Now, okay.
So when a devotee connect with him, he is connecting with the Lord in his everything. That's why he is always with the Lord, no?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes,
and the Lord also makes everything very, because he's connected with the Lord, everything becomes full of bliss because he's seeing the Lord.
Yes, Prabhu. Now I can connect, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Correct.
Yes, Prabhu. Now I understand, Prabhu. Lord is in the heart and he's also carrying the whole spiritual kingdom. So
everywhere, the Lord is not alone, no. He's always eternally connected to his devotees and pastimes and all going on.
Yes,
always engaging the activities of devotional service. The devotees feel ever increasing fresh and new in all the activities. The all-knower, the super soul within the heart of the devotee makes everything increasingly fresh.
Yes, Prabhu.
You understand? So you have to connect with the Lord, no? Correct? If you connect with Maya, then all these doubts will be there. Yes, because it's dry,
Correct, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Beside devotees, they don't want to go into Maya.
Yes, Prabhu. Now I can understand, Prabhu. Yes. It's better.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Prabhu.
Like here, you can see. Such a liberated person is not attracted to material sense pleasure, but is always in trance, enjoying the pleasure within. This way, the self-realized person enjoys unlimited happiness, for he concentrates on the Supreme. Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yoginam ramante ante, ramante yoginam ante, satyananda chidatmani, iti rama padaneya asau, brahma, param brahma, adibidiyate. The mystic derive unlimited transcendental pleasure from the absolute truth, and therefore the Supreme Lord, the personality of God, is also known as Rama. You understand?
Yes, Prabhu.
Just to give you an example, everybody is running after sex life, with the void, the pleasure is very what? Insignificant, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Can you imagine the one who has created all this pleasure, how much pleasure you will have? Huh? Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
So that's why they connect with him and it's all pleasure. Full of pleasure. Why go for insignificant pleasure? Which is also limited, temporary. Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
So we have to learn the science, That's why it's very important to know. If you don't know, then correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
So what other questions anyone has? Hello? Any more questions?
No more questions, Prabhu.
No more questions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I have one, Prabhu. Yeah, so unless we finish Bhagavad Gita, we should not start Bhagavatam. Is that true, Prabhu?
Advisable.
Okay.
If you not finish the Gita, then you how to go to, just like if you don't study your basics, how you can study something advanced, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
So you try to read the Gita first. I was trying to do that actually, when I first got the Bhagavad and the Bhagavad Gita, when I was starting my Krishna Consciousness. And every time I started reading the Bhagavatam. Every time I started reading the Bhagavatam, Prabhupada would be saying in the purport, one should read the Gita first. I ignored and I carried on. Again, Prabhupada said, you must read the Gita first. So I put down the Bhagavatam and I started reading the Gita,
Okay.
So I don't know, maybe you can try to read the...
No, Prabhu, even I saw that, and then that's why I just want to be sure. When I was reading, it came up saying that you should not read. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was saying that.
Yeah, you should first read the Gita, basic, understand,
Yeah.
Even in the Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada has written so many things from the Bhagavatam also.
Yes, Prabhu.
See, in this purport of the Bhagavad Gita, you see here, in 551, you see this verse? Understand? This is Bhagavatam. This is actually from Bhagavad Gita, this verse, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
So you actually the most important thing is the purports, You understand? Just the verses alone, you may not understand, You need to hear the purport, no? You understand?
Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
Then you become, you get purified to know, Correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
And it takes not 1-2 days or 1-2 years, It takes many times. Actually, you have to keep reading many times, no? Even you read one time, you won't understand also. I don't know,
Yes, Prabhu.
maybe the others here understand very well one time, but it takes many years to understand. And every time you read, something new is there. Correct?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, I agree.
Because the Lord, these words are transcendental. All right, so nobody has any questions? Hello?
No, Prabhu.
Okay, I have a question. Why actually did Lord Ram come down? Well, why did he appear, Lord Ram?
Is it to kill Ravana, Prabhu?
That I know, no, everybody know, no?
Yeah.
What is the real purpose? Huh?
Paritranaya sadhunam.
That I also know, no? Somebody got something in the chat. Can we read Bhagavad? Why did Lord Ram come? Oh, you are writing it down, is it?
I'm just writing the questions.
Okay, I was thinking why it came up. All right, here. You want to read this?
Nikhilesh Prabhu, do you want to read?
Sure, Prabhu. It was ordained that Ravana, chief of Rakshasas, could not be killed by anyone but a man. And for this reason, Lord Ramachandra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appeared in the form of a human being. Lord Ramachandra's mission, however, was not only to kill Ravana, but also to teach mortal beings that material happiness centered around sex, life, or centered around one's wife is the cause of many miseries. He is a self-sufficient Supreme Personality of Godhead and nothing is lamentable for him. Therefore, Why else could he be subjected to tribulations by the kidnapping of Mother Sita?
Yes. Hello.
Yes, Prabhu.
You understand? You want to read the purport as well?
Sure. When the Lord appears in this universe in the form of a human being, he has two purposes, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. To destroy the demons and protect the devotees. To protect the devotees, the Lord not only satisfies them by his personal presence, but also teaches them so that they will not fall down from devotional service. By his personal example, Lord Ramachandra taught the devotees that it is better not to enter married life, which is certainly followed by many tribulations, as confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 7.9.45. Kripanas, those who are not advanced in spiritual knowledge and who are therefore just the opposite of Brahmanas, generally take to family life, which is a concession of sex. Thus, they enjoy sex again and again, although that sex is followed by many tribulations. This is a warning to devotees. To teach this lesson to devotees and to human society in general, Lord Sri Ramachandra, although the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, underwent a series of tribulations because he accepted a wife, Mother Sita. Lord Ramachandra underwent these austerities, of course, only to instruct us. Actually, he never has any reason to lament for anything. Another aspect of Lord's instructions is that one who accepts a wife must be a faithful husband and give her full protection. Human society is divided into two classes of men: those who strictly follow the religious principles and those who are devotees. By his personal example, Lord Ramachandra wanted to instruct both of them how to fully adopt the discipline of the religious system and how to be a beloved and dutiful husband. Otherwise, he has no reason to undergo apparent tribulations. One who strictly follows religious principles must not neglect to provide all facilities for the complete protection of his wife. There may be some suffering because of this, but one must nevertheless endure it. Thus, it is the duty of a faithful husband. By his personal example, Lord Ramachandra demonstrated this duty. Lord Ramachandra could have produced hundreds and thousands of Sitas from his pleasure energy, but just to show the duty of faithful husband, he not only rescued Sita from the hands of Ravana, but also killed Ravana and all the members of his family. Another aspect of the teachings of Lord Ramachandra is that although Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his devotees may apparently suffer from material tribulations, they have nothing to do with such tribulations. They are Mukta Purushas, liberated persons under all circumstances. It is therefore said in the Chaitanya Bhagavata, a Vaishnava is always firmly situated in transcendental bliss because of engagement in devotional service. Although he may appear to suffer material pains, his position is called transcendental bliss in separation. Viraha, the emotions a lover and beloved feel when separated from one another are actually very blissful, although apparently painful. Therefore, the separation of Lord Ramachandra from Sita Devi, as well as the consequent tribulation they suffered, is but another display of transcendental bliss. That is the opinion of Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura.
Yes, understand? Huh? Three
Prabhu.
reasons. Three reasons. One, how getting married is a lot of pain. Okay? Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
First
Prabhu.
you got the engagement ring, then you get the wedding ring, and then you get the suffering. Yes? Then
Yes, Prabhu.
those who are married, they have to take care of their wife. If they try to do some nonsense, big trouble. Correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. They're duty bound. For those who don't have the brahmachari training, then these guys will do all kind of crazy things and create so many problems. Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. And of course, then the other thing is that although we are in the material world, we're going to be suffering, but because we become devotee of Krishna and practice all these rules and regulation under the direction of the spiritual master, then we are relieved from all this. Understand? You follow?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
So this is three things. Of course, separation is there, but the Lord separation is Vipralamba Seva, no? Different, no? For the Lord, there's no separation anyway. It's always in the heart of everybody, correct?
Correct. Correct.
So anyone else like to read?
Madhu Prabhu?
Since the Lord Sri Ramachandra is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, he is not attached to anything in this material world. He is the most beloved super soul of all self-realized souls, and he is their very intimate friend. He is full of all opulences. Therefore, he could not possibly have suffered because of separation from his wife, nor could he have given up his wife and Lakshmana, his younger brother. To give up either would have been absolutely impossible. In defining the personality of Godhead, we say that he is in all six opulences: wealth, fame, strength, influence, beauty, and renunciation. He is called renounced because he is not attached to anything in this material world. He is specifically attached to the spiritual world and the living entities there. The affairs of the material world take place under the superintendence of Durga Devi. Everything is going on under the strict rules and regulations of the material energy presented by Durga. Therefore, the Lord is completely detached and need not give attention to the material world. Sita Devi belongs to the spiritual world. Similarly, Lord Lakshmana, Ramachandra's younger brother, is a manifestation of Sankarsana. And Lord Ramachandra himself is Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Since the Lord is always spiritually qualified, he is attached to servants who always render transcendental, loving service unto him. He is attached to the truth in life, not to Brahmanical qualities. Indeed, he is never attached to any material qualities, although he is the super living entities. He is specifically manifest to those who are self-realized, and he is especially dear to the hearts of his transcendental devotees. Because Lord Ramchandra descended to teach human society how beautiful a king should be, he apparently gave up the company of Mother Sita and Lakshmana. Actually, however, he could not have given them up. One should therefore learn about the activities of Lord Ramachandra from a self-realized soul. Then one can understand the transcendental activities of the Lord.
So this is the point, that he's never separated from his servants. Just like there's a verse that says Krishna never left Vrindavan, no? Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
So the Lord is always with his devotees, but for the pastime purpose, it looks like they are separated, you know.
Yes, Prabhu.
Carry on reading. Someone else.
One cannot establish a friendship with the Supreme Lord Ramachandra on the basis of material qualities, such as one's birth in an aristocratic family, one's personal beauty, one's opulence, one's sharp intelligence, or one's superior race or nation. None of these qualifications is actually a prerequisite for friendship with the Lord Sri Ramachandra. Otherwise, how is it possible that although we uncivilized inhabitants of the forest have not taken noble births, although we have no physical beauty, and although we cannot speak like gentlemen, Lord Ramachandra has nevertheless accepted us as friends.
But this is all the monkeys and the bears and everything, no? Right? Read on.
In a prayer to Krishna expressing her feelings, Srimati Kunti Devi called him Akinchana Gochara. The prefix A means not, and Kinchana something of this material world. One may be very proud of his prestigious position, material wealth, beauty, education, and so on. But although these are certainly good qualifications in material dealings, they are not necessary for achieving friendship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who possesses all these material qualities is expected to become a devotee, and when he actually does, the qualities are properly utilized. Those who are puffed up by a high birth, wealth, education, and personal beauty, unfortunately do not care for developing Krishna consciousness, nor does the Supreme Personality of Godhead care about all these material qualifications. The Supreme Lord is achieved by devotion. One's devotion and sincere desire to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead are the only qualifications. Rupa Goswami has also stated that the price for achieving God's favor is simply one's sincere eagerness to have it. In the Chaitanya Bhagavata, it is said, behold the great fortune of the devotee Kula Vesha. Lord Brahma and Shiva shed tears upon seeing his greatness. One cannot attain Lord Krishna by any amount of wealth, followers, or learning. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is controlled only by pure devotion. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a very sincere devotee whose name was Kulavecha Sridhara and whose only business was to sell pots made of the skin of banana trees. Whatever income he had, he used 50% for the worship of Mother Ganges, and with the other 50% he provided for his necessities. On the whole, he was so very poor that he lived in a cottage that had a broken roof with many holes in it. He could not afford brass utensils, and therefore he drank water from an iron pot. Nevertheless, he was a great devotee of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is a typical example of how a poor man with no material possessions can become a most exalted devotee of the Lord. Conclusion is that one cannot attain shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna or Sri Chaitanya Goswami through material opulence. Shelter is attainable only by pure devotional service. One should render transcendental loving service to Lord Krishna favorably and without desire for material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. That is called pure devotion.
So all this material qualification, if it's not utilized for the Lord, then it is simply, useless. And the Lord doesn't care. You see how he associated with people like the monkeys and all that, correct?
Therefore, whether one is a demigod or a demon, a man or a creature other than man, such as a beast or bird, everyone should worship Lord Ramachandra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who appears on this earth just like human being. There is no need of great austerities or penances to worship the Lord, for he accepts even a small service offered by his devotee. Thus, he is satisfied, and as soon as he is satisfied, the devotee is successful. Indeed, Lord Sri Ramachandra brought all the devotees of Ayodhya back home, back to Godhead, Vaikuntha.
See that?
Yes, Prabhu. Lord Sri Ramachandra is so kind and merciful to his devotees that he is very easily satisfied by a little service rendered by anyone, human or not. This is the special advantage of worshipping Lord Ramachandra. And there is the same advantage in worshipping Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Krishna and Lord Ramachandra, in the manner of Kshatriyas, sometimes showed their mercy by killing asuras. But Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu awarded love of God without difficulty even to the asuras. All the incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but especially Lord Ramachandra, Lord Krishna, and the later Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu delivered many of the living entities present before him. Indeed, almost all of them. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is therefore Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The mercy of killing us, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu awarded the love of God. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is therefore represented in the six-armed form of Shadbhuja Murti, which is a combination of Lord Ramachandra, Lord Krishna, and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The best purpose of human life can be fulfilled by worshipping the Shadbhuja Murti, the form of the Lord with six arms, two arms of Ramachandra, two arms of Krishna, two arms of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
So you understand now? Hello?
Yes.
So you know why the Lord descends, huh? I always ask this question, why the Lord had to go through so much suffering, huh? Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
All right, so we'll stop here then, huh?
Prabhu, the verse that we just read says worshipping Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Shadbhuja form is the best. But in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada also says that we have to worship two-handed form of Krishna, right? So how do we understand this, Prabhu?
So you cannot worship Krishna without going through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, no?
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
It's like you want to chant Hare Krishna, you must first chant Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya's name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes or not?
Mm-hmm.
So through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then you get revealed Radha Krishna love, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think we have explained that at length, right?
Right.
So you cannot do anything without the mercy of the Lord, no?
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like now, the reason why we are making progress is because we are
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yes, I've explained.
Mm-hmm.
Like that last time that you cannot chant Hare Krishna without chanting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's name.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there are so many South Indian, I've heard, they all chant Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And then they go and drink their coffee and tea.
Mm-hmm.
Onion garlic, correct?
Yes, true.
Because they don't accept Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Right.
You follow? So they cannot make advancement. So similarly, if you worship the Sat Puja, and of course you Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then definitely everything is revealed to you.
Mm-hmm.
Radha Krishna Paite Nai, you know. So you want to go to Radha Krishna love, which is the highest, you must go through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Right.
Any other questions?
Nope.
No more questions, huh?
No problem.
So I guess These verses that I show, you can read them on your Ram Navami day.
Yes, Prabhu.
Huh? Usually they
Prabhu,
try
is there
to
anything?
Sorry,